In this video, we'll be working through assignment 10.5, which is concerned with part writing the diminished triad. There's basically two rules for part writing the diminished triad. The first rule involves doubling the bass, and that is what you should use unless there is the fifth of the diminished triad in the soprano. So if the root or third are in the soprano, then double the bass. However, if the fifth is in the soprano, then double the soprano. In other words, when the root or third are in the soprano, you're doubling the third in the bass. When the fifth is in the soprano, you're doubling the fifth in the soprano. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first three examples from assignment 10.5. All of these are examples where we're going to see the root or third in the soprano, so we'll end up doubling the bass. Okay, here in this first example, it looks like it's basically C major, and when we have a first inversion chord, remember, we just go down a third, we can figure out that the root is actually B. So this is a leading tone diminished first inversion chord, spelled B, D, F. So we're going to look at the soprano, and the soprano has the root in the soprano. So it's the bass that we want to double. Let's put two D's there in the bass and tenor, and then the remaining note F we can put in the alto. So that's a good distribution of notes. This next example with one sharp is G major, and again, when you have a first inversion chord, if you just go down a third, you would find that F sharp is the root of the chord. The chord is spelled F sharp, A, C. So this is a leading tone diminished first inversion chord. We have the note A, the third of the chord in the soprano here. So once again, we're going to want to double the bass, and it is already doubled. There's also an A there. So really, we're left to put, let's say, C sharp or F sharp, the root of the chord, let's say in the tenor, and then we can put the C, the fifth of the chord, in the alto. Okay, let's just do one more. This looks like F major, and if we go down a third from G in the bass, it is a first inversion chord. We find that we have E as our root, so it's E, G, B flat, and the root is in the soprano. So we're going to want to double the bass like we have in the others. Let's put the other G here in the alto, and then the B flat that's missing is in the tenor. So that works really well when you have the root or the third in the soprano. In this next example, I'm trying to find the example where we have the fifth in the soprano, and I think number 4 will suffice. So this looks like we're in the key of A major, and if we go down a third, we get G sharp is the root of that chord. So there the chord is spelled G sharp, B, and D. And D is the fifth that we have in the soprano. So here in this case, we're going to want to double the soprano. So for instance, I could put it here in the tenor, and then all I need is a G sharp for the alto. So that would be an example of the other way where you have to double the soprano when the fifth of the chord is in the soprano.